Welcome everyone. We are back with the second episode of Marktalks, the initiative started by the Marketing Society Sbsc College. For this episode, we have Mr. Tarun Jha, who is the head of marketing at Skoda Auto Volkswagen India Private Limited since 2015. Having worked with utmost passion and enthusiasm, Mr. Jha is well exposed to the field of marketing and has 20 years of experience in this domain.
Welcome, sir. I'm Shruti Chawla.
And I'm Jishi Jatmani.
We are freshers at Shahid Bhagat Singh College, University of Delhi, and we are really elated to have you here. And accordingly, we really hope that you and your family are keeping safe. We'd really appreciate, say a few words about yourself, the initiative Marktalks that we have taken as the Marketing Society of Shahid Bhagat Singh College, and about the field of marketing before starting the interview.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shruti. So my name is Tarun Jha, and I've been in the area in the field of marketing for now 23 years. I did my BCom from the University of Allahabad, and then I did my MBA from the same place. And I started my career in an advertising agency called Mudra Communications in Delhi. Then after that, I joined Ogilvy, O&M, that is Ogilvy and Mehta in Delhi itself. With Ogilvy and Mehta, I moved from Delhi office to Bombay office and then back to Delhi. And then I came back to Bombay. I worked for a couple of years in a very large consumer durables and consumer electronics company called Videocon, which doesn't exist now. And in year 2005, I joined Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. That was my first professional exposure to automotive marketing. 3 years at Mahindra & Mahindra, and since 2008, I've been with Skoda Auto. The first 3.5 years I was in India. After that, I spent a good 3 years at the headquarters, where I was part of the international marketing team at Prague in the Czech Republic. And year 2015, I came back and took up this position of head of marketing. And head of marketing position, currently my responsibilities include product marketing and pricing, brand communications, digital marketing, CRM, experiential, events, and customer experience. So these are the areas that I'm responsible for currently.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words. Let's just begin with the interview.
It's been absolutely fabulous, to be honest. Incidentally, this week itself, I completed 13 years at Skoda.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. So when I joined Skoda in 2008, I was responsible for marketing communications, media, and events. Digital marketing was in its very infancy. It was just being understood and being adopted. So from there, during these last 13 years, there has been a lot of learning. See, we marketers also have this habit of only talking about our successes and the great things we've done. Most of us fail to speak about the struggles that we faced and the new things that we had to learn along the way. And I think my biggest message today to all of you would be, never stop learning. Learning doesn't stop once you're out of college or once you finish your MBA and start working. Your actual learning begins when you get into your first job, because what you studied in your school and college was a very theoretical aspect about the fundamentals, which are important. But when you get into your professional life, what you learn is the practical aspect of it. So keep your mind open. And that, I think, is what I keep telling myself every day, that I am a student first and a practitioner second. And I think that is the thing which has really helped me over the last 13 years in this company. And even before that, is that I keep telling myself that you are learning and every day is a new lesson in life. So COVID affected our business, automotive business, very, very badly. Automotive is responsible for contributing almost 10 to 12% of our national GDP and about 40% of manufacturing GDP. It is that large a sector. Last year, April, was a unique year in our history of automotive in this country. And our history is about 120 years of automotive history. 0 cars were sold last April. This is the first time in more than 100 years that not a single car was sold. And this industry employs millions of people. People like me who work on the manufacturing side and who work with brands. Then there are dealers, thousands and thousands of dealers of cars and 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers. Each dealer employs hundreds of people in showrooms and workshops. And then there are ancillary and component makers who depend on automotive. Now, this entire industry came to almost a standstill. Things started changing June onwards when the market started opening up. The government started giving slightly more, let's say, relaxed norms of going out. But the customers were still afraid to come to showrooms, And also what happened, and I'm talking about customer trends and what we did together because then it makes sense. Customers are very afraid. People like you and me, okay, not you, you're a student, but for instance, your parents and I, we were scared. If you're a businessman, you were scared how your business would do and how you would pay salaries to your people. Okay, if you are a employee of an organization, you were not sure if you would continue in your employment, or you would lose your job, or you would get your increments or bonuses or your full salary. I know lots of companies cut salaries for people also. They said we'll give you part of it because you don't have any earnings right now. Okay, so customer sentiment was affected. It was very low and negative. The other thing that happened was that people who wanted to buy cars and had the resources to buy them, they couldn't step out and go to a showroom to buy a car. Or what people did was, if they had a budget in mind, let's say somebody had a budget of 10 lakh rupees to buy a car, they started telling themselves, do I need to spend that money right now, or should I wait? Or if I'm really desperate, should I just pick up a second-hand car for 2-3 lakh rupees? Till the time things become all right, and I'm sure that everything is proper, my earnings are safe, my family is safe, and then I will buy a new car. So people started postponing their decisions. This is the trend we observed on the consumer side. So what did we do as a company and as a brand? The first thing is we made the products and the brand accessible to our customers. By and large, every aspect of business moved online. Not only advertising and communications, PR events were happening online. We as a company started an online booking platform where you could book your car online. Because normally you have to go to a showroom and then book a car physically. So we saved you one trip to the showroom. You could book your car online. We started giving online demos. So when you want to buy a car, you go to a showroom. The sales consultant at the showroom will show you the car, exteriors, interiors, seats, this, that, all the features. That's called a demo or demonstration, right? We moved that online. We started giving online video demonstrations. So like we are talking, the tools were already there. You understand? Today what we are doing, this tool was there earlier, not so many of them. So now we have like dozens of them, video chatting tools. But like I'm talking to you, similarly, my sales consultant can talk to a prospective customer and also showcase the car. All I have to do is flip my camera, right? While talking to you, I flip the camera, show the car, explain the car while talking, handle all the queries that are coming from the customers. If the customer says, okay, show me how does the AC operate, on camera, on the video, you can show how the AC operates, right? Exteriors, interiors, everything. The only thing that remains is you actually sitting in the car for a test drive, for which we said, okay, we will organize a sanitized car for you at your home. So the salesperson will wear a PPE kit, sanitize the full car, take it to your home, sanitize it all over again, and hand you over sanitized keys, and not sit with you in the car and say, okay, sir, you take a test drive. Okay, ma'am, you take a test drive. Or if you're comfortable, I'll sit next to you. So you are in a sanitized environment. Similarly, what we did at showrooms, because people were scared going out for the risk of catching an infection. So we sanitized all our showrooms and workshops, and we had very strict norms of, how many people will enter the showrooms, with what precautions. Okay, so these are the things. And then when it comes to communications, now when you are passing through a pandemic and you're scared, you don't want to be shown images of people traveling out and enjoying and partying and going to restaurants, because that is not happening on one hand. And two, for Shruti, who's stuck at home, doesn't want to know what her friends are doing in Delhi in restaurants, right? Because that upsets you.
Yes.
And as a brand, I'm not here to upset my customers by showing them images which are not real. So our entire communication at that point of time was to communicate things which the customers want to hear, like safety and security, stay home, stay healthy, how to sanitize your car. If your car is parked for 2 months, how to take care of your car. Or if you're a doctor and you go out, then I have special packages for doctors, how do I service your car. Or if you want to buy a car and want an easy finance scheme or a loan, that is something I need to tell you. Not tell you break free and go out to the jungles, because that is something you can't do. So our entire communications changed accordingly to speak about things which customers want to hear and which customers are willing and open-heartedly willing to accept, rather than making them feel bad. So these are the few things that we did during the time of the pandemic. Okay. The first thing that we had to do was, because we were in this entire COVID scenario, we announced the name of the vehicle in January this year. So my marketing campaign started then. See, this is something as integrated marketing, you have to realize the moment news goes out, your marketing campaign begins. Even if that news is a rumor, your marketing campaign begins from there. My job as a marketer, when I'm launching a car, is to make sure if the customer is searching for me, the brand that is, the customer should be able to find the brand or the news or the relevant information about the product. So on our website, we had some information coming soon. If you want to know more, leave your contact details here so that we could get back to you. Now, this is called a CRM program, correct? That you show your interest and I will keep feeding you with information as it emerges. Then we had the world static premiere where it was the world premiere of the car in Bombay that happened in March. Now we were very scared that we may not be able to do that event because the restrictions are very very strict from the government, but we still managed to do a hybrid event. It was part physical with about 100 journalists, all seated far apart, like 6 feet apart, each one of them. We wanted to have 500, but we just could manage 100 because every hotel had a restriction on number of guests. So we did a hybrid event. The same event was webcast around the world, so that everybody from journalists to customers who were interested could actually see what was being done about the Kushak. And then I continued with my marketing campaign in the sense of everybody who showed an interest in the car, I had to give some information. So using videos and static images and text, we kept revealing bits and pieces of information and continued throughout. And 10 days before the launch, we did a television campaign to coincide with the World Test Championship, and we did a print campaign for 10 days, announcing the date of the launch because people were eagerly waiting for that for 6 months. And then on 28th of June, we announced the price of the car, including all the variants, all the details, everything that you need to know as a customer. And then we did this full-fledged 360-degree campaign, which included all media possible, including new age things like OTT. OTT is very important as a platform because I realize a lot of people, my customers included, are not watching television. They only consume their entertainment through OTT channels. So I have to be on OTT. A lot of people, young people like you, and also people my age, have stopped reading newspapers and magazines, the physical edition. So I have to be present on practically every news site and sports site. So that's how I make my media plan, including newspapers, including television, of course, because with our expansion across the country now, we are in a lot of locations which are semi-urban and almost rural, where the penetration of digital is limited. I'm not saying it's not there, it's limited in terms of usage. They use payment apps. They use a lot of these short video apps like Takatak and stuff like that. They do. Okay. They still read newspapers in semi-urban locations and mini metros and smaller towns. Religiously read newspapers. So newspaper has to be included in our plan. Plus, people had started moving out. The country was opening up. So we took up these large format hoardings. So if any of your batchmates live in and around Gurgaon, they must have seen the Poshak hoardings because I had more than 20 of them in Gurgaon itself.
I have.
Because Gurgaon is a big market for me. Okay. Similarly, in Noida, I had it. See, Delhi doesn't allow hoardings. Delhi, you have to reach through other media. Bombay, I had multiple hoardings. So we had 70 cities covered through outdoors. I had my car at Bombay Airport and Hyderabad Airport. So practically every form of media that you can conceive had been utilized. And the messaging is important. When you do a campaign, the messaging becomes important. So we position the car a little differently. You see in the car industry, the cars are positioned as, biggest, strongest, fastest, prettiest, smartest. Everything is a hyperbole somehow. And everybody is promising you a life as if you buy a car and your life would change. It doesn't happen like that, honestly. A car is a great tool. It's also sometimes a great accessory. Okay, but a car would not change your life. It would help you in your life. If your office is very far away, the car will help you transport you to your place of work in relative comfort and safety. Okay, great utility. Car also says a lot about you. The kind of brand and the kind of car you drive also says. But a car fundamentally doesn't change your life as such. The car doesn't make you desirable to other people. Let's be honest about it. In some cases, it does. If you have a Lamborghini, it may. But a normal car is bought for different reasons, which is why our entire campaign is based on the power of choice that we have. We always keep hearing these things like choose wisely, choose carefully, choose this, choose that. Because we know end of the day, no matter what I tell you as a marketeer, you will make your own choice based on your own realities.
True.
And that is why the campaign message is choose what really matters.
Yes.
Because you'll be the best judge. Who am I to tell you this is the best car for you? Choose what really matters to you. My car has this, that, and the other. I will tell you everything about my car, but choose what really matters. So when we talk about marketing campaign, like I mentioned to you earlier also, that I'm not only responsible for an advertising campaign. And I think all of you should realize when you say a marketing campaign, it doesn't mean an advertising campaign. A marketing campaign also includes the product, which is the be all end all of everything that we do. A product could be a service also, right? Or a service could be a product.
Yeah.
So when a campaign fails, it's basically because of multiple reasons. Not one or two, multiple reasons. I would not say a failed campaign, I would say it did not do as well as we had expected it to do because the product was a little before its time. And it happens. You are so enamored with your own product that you believe that the world is ready for it. Okay, that could also be a failure on our part as a marketeer, that we did not study the market well enough. Or we underestimated or overestimated the customer, readiness for the product at that point of time. And lots of great products and brands have failed because we either underestimated or overestimated the customer sentiment. So we had a lovely product in the form of Yeti, which was our first SUV, which we had launched in year 2010. I had launched it here in the country. The marketing campaign, I won some 11 or 12 awards because it was the best automotive marketing campaign for the year. Best integrated campaign, best TVC, best website, best 11 or 12 awards. Okay. The product was a little before its time. Compact SUVs were not considered because people were used to very large SUVs. So customers, when they saw the car, they said, is it not too expensive for the price? They did not see what went in the product. You understand? They saw that in this money, if I go to some other brand, I'll get a car which is double the size. Now, the Indian customer was not entirely ready at that point of time. And that was the biggest learning from that campaign.
Because Indian families are like joint families and they want big cars and big people to travel here and there.
True. The Yeti was made for individuals who love adventure, who love a car for themselves, the gypsy kind of a crowd.
Yes.
A gypsy was a very old platform. It's still a lovely car. I know in Punjab how people love the gypsy and Delhi also.
True.
You will not find a single gypsy in Bombay, but you'll find dozens of them in the north. Because, it is your individual statement. It's meant for one or two people. It's not meant for families, right? So the Yeti was bought by these enthusiasts. But after we had sold to all of them, there weren't too many customers left. Which is why when we worked on new projects, globally also, the Yeti was replaced by the Karoq. And the Karoq is an absolutely wonderful car which is doing very well globally. Because in terms of shape, design, and things which were not so perfect with the Yeti were made better with the Karoq. And when we were designing the Koshak for India, so the Koshak was completely designed and conceived in India, we went very deep into understanding what do the Indian customers need in terms of design, in terms of colors, in terms of fabrics. So we built a car which we knew that would go beyond only the enthusiastic crowd, would go and have a much larger appeal than what we had with the Yeti, for instance. And that also includes the pricing of the product. You understand? The Yeti was a very expensive European, very evolved European car. Today, there would be a market for the Yeti in India again. 10 years ago, there wasn't. So that all those learnings that we had, we've applied that, and we applied that for all the campaigns and all the cars that we make now.
So let's now begin the fun segment of this interview. We have a kind of a surprise for you, the rapid fire round. There are going to be 5 questions which you have to answer very rapidly.
Okay.
So, sir, are you ready?
I mean, I don't know, but yes, I guess.
Very easy. They're very, very easy.
Easy. They're very rapidly you have to answer it.
Yes.
The very first question is, from your own company, when was Skoda founded? Your option.
Easy. Oh, you give me choices. No, I know the answer to that. It was founded in 1895 by Václav Lorin and Václav Klement in a town called Mlada Boleslav, where we have a headquarters. So it's a very interesting history because we started as a bicycle making company.
Yeah, exactly. Like you told in the interview earlier that Skoda is a very old company which is 120 years of experience, and I then only knew that you'll be knowing the answer of this question.
Of course, I mean that's my daily job because I also do induction programs.
Yeah. The second question is, what's the tagline of your competitive brand Toyota? Simply clever, the power of dreams, let's go places, and way of life.
Toyota is not in advertising. Again, repeat a way of life, I think.
Maruti Suzuki is the way of life.
Way of life.
Let's go places is the answer.
Let's go places.
Yeah.
Oh, Toyota should advertise more because if I don't remember the tagline, they're not advertising enough. Okay.
So next question is, what is the full form of CTR in marketing?
Click-through rate. Click-through rate.
Yeah, correct. On average, the largest channel that 53% of traffic comes to website from paid searches. On average, the largest channel at 53% of traffic comes to website from paid searches, referring domains, organic search, or social media.
You're talking in general?
Yeah, in general.
Okay, in our case, it comes from organic search.
Yeah,
but I think
that is the correct answer.
For us, because I saw the data day before yesterday. In our case, also the largest source of traffic for my website is definitely organic search, and paid search is number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it matches. Great.
Okay, so very last question. Sir, can you name any one book which has motivated you the most in your life?
Wow. So actually, I am a very voracious reader. I read a lot of books. But the book which was forever my favorite, which I still use after all these years, is a small little Collins pocket dictionary
Oh.
That was my constant companion when I was in school, in college, even at work. I refer to it, or every day. So that's my most favorite book. I keep a dictionary with me at all times.
So this was the end of our interview. It was a really enlightening session. We are really grateful that you took out time for us and for our viewers and share your past.
Thank you so much. I'll just say one thing, that if students like you want to stay in touch and want to ask questions, you can always follow me on LinkedIn. I'm fairly active. If you ask a question, at least within 48 hours, I'll respond to that also. So I like to stay in touch with young people because I learn a lot from you guys. You will not even realize it, how much I learn from you people.
Okay. So we hope that this will help all the students who are going to pursue marketing as their field. And thank you.
And even in general, I guess.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the advices, and your answers were really beautiful. And
we really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day ahead. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye.